Yeah.
Koro okreke to a point where your name Chymamusique was found in a textbook. I mean, there's levels to this. Okay, tell us the story about your name though, Chymamusique.
Chymamusique comes from a textbook. So it was a plant tissue. It's the tissue that makes this plant to be green. Yeah, you know, for it to be green, it has to have a colon chyma inside of it.
Yeah, colon is your name.
Tissue, yeah. So that's where my name came from. Sound engineering also helps prevent something like about the speaker is bent, so stuff like that.
Okay.
So when the song is well engineered and balanced, chances are your sound system will be preserved. Yeah. The guy now, Jazzin, no more deep house. I do all of his releases also Stay True Sounds. I do all their releases. Before it's released, it must pass through me. And lately, Kid Fonque is putting me with Defected Records. I'm doing that for Defected for some releases. Cool. And I do, who else? Obviously, my boys, those ones they wanna before release, it has to come and pass. And lately, Universal. I do a lot of Universal releases, which are the Amapiano guys, Amos, Stoki, Sometrics, and a lot of Fat Cook and Mahuta, Kabzas. They send most of the time.
Whose project have you worked on that you felt like it was quite challenging?
All of them are challenging, I won't lie. All of them are challenging. Sometimes recently, the challenge will be when the artist and the producer basa utlwana ka project ya bona. Like the artist want this and the producer didn't send me the right files.
And particularly the men's conference.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it because I mean, Joe, men's conference and nearly something.
Is that there is no Kerlechiscope? No.
Plus, we're all about sharing the facts and teaching the tricks. Let's talk all things about music, the life of music. Let's engage about the rhythm. Let's talk about our passion for melodies, sound, and those beautiful classics. Let's get educated about these decibels we oh so dearly love. On this podcast, we talk about these politics. Welcome to Music Politricks. Sanbonani dumelang kere ekse nakalina ke nabusi mara ba khulu ba dese ba re ke the queen of Pitori, and welcome to another episode of Music Politricks. This is where we learn everything there is to learn about music. We are here to learn all the facts and of course teach all the tricks via the right people. A big shout out to everybody on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Make sure you keep reviewing the podcast and sharing with us or what kind of conversations you would like to have. And a big shout out to everybody on YouTube as well. We really appreciate all the love. We see you. I see all the suggestions that you guys are making in terms of who you'd like to see and the kind of conversations that you would like to have. Now, today is a really, really special day. We did interview the Craig today. People that will school you not only about music. I mean, we're going to be speaking all things about sound engineering, mixing, mastering, DJing, production. Mara Dimani has a lot to also school us because he is a graduate of Boston. Mara, we take a crack, Joe. Chemical engineering and then went on to do analytical chemistry. Cheers, Mr. Chymamusique is in the building.
Hi, Dumela.
Okay.
I can think one. No, I'm not. I don't think so. I don't think so, man. There's still a lot to learn.
Yeah.
There's still a long road ahead. Yeah.
Or cricket to a point where your name Chymamusique was found in a textbook. I mean, there's levels to this.
Yeah, it was in a textbook. Yeah, actually. But I'm not a crack, but I think I can say I do know about enough about what I'm doing and other things that have to do with sound. Yeah.
Okay, tell us the story about your name though, Chymamusique.
Chymamusique comes from a textbook. And I remember that during our times it was called biology. I think now they call it life science.
Yes.
So it was a plant tissue. It's the tissue that makes this plant to be green. Yeah, you know, for it to be green, it has to have a colon chyma inside of it.
Yeah, pollen is your
plant
name.
tissue. Yeah. So that's where my name came from.
That's so cool.
Yeah, very cool. I think so too. All the time, when it's like, how did the name come about? I'm like, oh, okay. You know,
that's very cool.
It's like a textbook answer.
Ne.
Yeah.
But it's a bigger sport. You know, growing up, what music are you listening to? What music are your parents listening to? What are your influences?
I listen to a lot of gospel actually. Because I'm such a church boy. Even my music started from being a keyboardist or pianist at church. So that's the music I listen to, but obviously it branches out to now jazz. And then I think that's where house somehow found its way to me.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because we can hear the jazz influences in your music.
Yes, definitely. I remember when we started the house music that we used to do, they used to call it jazzy house because it used to have lots of piano.
Yeah.
Like we were doing the talking through the piano, and that's where Amapiano eventually came about.
Yeah. So was it strict, Kontlung? Because I mean, obviously your dad was very, you know, and wanted you to basically study in a certain way.
It was very strict actually. Coming to think of it, I was supposed to be a mining engineer. Yeah, by now. So it was very strict. I don't know how. House came into my life after my father has passed away, because he passed away in 2005.
Oh gee,
I was 15. No, it's okay. It's part of life. So when he passed away, that's when I met house. Otherwise, I would be probably what? But I was already doing music before him. But I was playing gospel and jazz. So maybe I would be a jazz or gospel musician and also a mining engineer.
But you're self-taught when it comes to the keys, right?
Yeah, there's someone who showed me basics, and other things you just pick up along the way as you network and socialize with people, you know.
So Moto, if someone is like showing you basics, what would you say exactly? Like,
they just probably show me how to play one song and explain to me the name of the keys. This is A, this is A sharp, B sharp until F, until G, and then it ends at G actually. Yeah, and I was like, oh, F, and then tell me about octaves, all the wording, a little bit of the wording from there. I had to learn through YouTube and just other guys along the way.
So how long would you say it took you for you to actually say, okay, I know corner?
I don't think I corner yet. So I've started learning in year 2000. So now it's been how many years? 25?
Sure, that's
25.
24.
It's been 24 years of trying to play that thing. But there was a time when now I stopped because I met other people who are good at it, and I thought obviously I can't be doing stuff by myself all. So I opened up for them. I would introduce a chord, and then they would play it better. I was like, okay, I'll just do the concept. You come and do, and then I stick to being a producer. But some songs I have to do it myself. But if I really want something very advanced, then I'll call someone to come and play it for me.
Okay. Yeah. But wait, just listening to you speak, I don't like. Wait, there isn't even one thing where you're like, yeah, maraka corner. Well, why is that? No, I mean, for sure it's humility, but I mean,
because I've met guys who are really good, that made me feel like, you know what, yeah. But unfortunately, with the journey of life, but then you just find that your destiny is not to thrive. So my duty is to take people who I know that are very talented. They can play guitars, they can play, and I bring them together. Yeah. And then I manage that. That's where now the sound engineering and being a producer came about.
Sure. Okay, makes sense. And you studied Pitori?
Yes.
And
okay,
what's interesting? Yeah. For analytical chemistry.
Analytical chemistry. And I was like, no, man. I think it was the time when we were doing practicals. There were days we would spend in the lab. And I was just like, damn, man, that's too much time. And then when I get home, I'll spend probably 2 hours and make a song. And the song will be finished and it will work.
Wow.
So I felt like, instead of spending the whole day in the lab, why can't I just spend 2 hours in the studio and then make the music? And I always loved music. So I switched. I was like, damn, I'm leaving this module. I'm going to Boston. I'll come back and complete it later if I need it.
Well,
here I am. I'm still waiting for later for me to go and complete it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll do it though. I'll go and finish it just for the sake of saying I've completed, because I always believe in finishing what I've started.
Okay.
Even if it's many years later, I'll just go and study again and pass that thing and then just graduate again, I guess.
Why not?
Yeah.
Because you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. There's
But-
gonna be time.
But like now the thing is, while you're actually doing that course, was there never a time where you felt like, hey man, I don't feel like I should be here?
There was, but I don't. I remember there was Nesfas when Nesfas had already paid, so wanted to complete because already I owe them. I need to pay them.
So what was the difference here with that time where you're like, Joe, nagatama, aksaditse?
I stopped because now when doing music, I started already gigging, so I would have some money to pay for my fees.
Okay.
And I know Boston back then was that it was expensive. I think even now maybe it's expensive according to people in my class. Because at UT would pay about 40,000 I think it was per year. And then go Boston it was about 140 per year.
Okay, cool.
So that was a huge difference.
Yeah.
So when I told my mom that okay, I want to do this, my mom is Anazak, Ahole Sharp. So I was like, okay, at least my music makes something. I can take a loan from APSA, student loan, and then from there I'll pay them back bits by bits. The music will be paying them back. And that's how I ended up eventually. I went to Boston and funded my studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you did media studies. I mean,
Yeah.
one would think, Koro, you'll go the sound engineering route, but what value does that qualification give you now?
The media one. I think now more than anything, it helps me to how to treat people, to talk to people. Because I did PR. I know how to channel my ideas, kind of. And I know how to kind of deal with media. When someone says something negative, I know how to turn it around, spin it around. So, and I'm also doing a lot of advertising of my events.
Okay.
I know how to do that, also marketing, which is what I studied media course. Then I studied the radio. I know how to do some of the things, go radio. Even though I haven't had a chance to do that, but I feel like as time goes, because of how the gatekeeping happens with radio,
Sure.
I might just open my own radio station
Yeah.
and then have to do it with other people.
Okay.
So at least I'll have the background.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And what do you think is the one thing that's you're doing differently, knowing how to only this qualification? Because I mean, everybody's got events. Yeah, everybody's got events. Everybody gets, dilota, the interview. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what is that Chymamusique touch where that is concerned?
Lately, what I'm doing that's it. Tumango jumpy sort. Okay, this guy is actually different. My events, I run them from a different medium. Like my people always complain that my events are not about numbers. Like my events currently, I target 100, 150 people, maximum 250.
Nice.
Because I'm doing men's conference and I'm doing this monthly lunches where I celebrate people birthdays. So my event, the time it goes to social media, it's kind of almost sold out. So people are always like, why are your events always sold out? And the reason is because those people who come to the events, I'm building in a way a family. Because the event is not about groove and noise. No, it's actually networking. I get to know the people, I know them, most of them, what they do, where they are from. Like we talk. The music is soft. And then what I do, something else that I do now, I cook. I've started cooking for the people when they come. So I give them free lunch. Okay. Kind of. So when they come to my events, I'll cook for them. And they'll have a good time. Now they know each other. Now it's like a family. When there's a new man, they're like, "Hey, man, I'm in town." They know where we're going. And it's all about theme. So I know people love dressing up. So it's fashion, music. It's actually the first thing is food. Okay. It's food. And then it's dress code, and then networking, and then we play games. I know most guys play PlayStation. Yeah. And they play Jenga and stuff. So like it's more interactive. It's not like where you're just sitting and looking at the DJ and dancing. Sure. So I think that's what I'm doing differently.
That's so nice. It's like sort of like bringing someone's experience exactly. Outdoors, but obviously with a better experience.
Like house party, but out there. And I make it travel different places. It doesn't happen. Go Santin, Fairlight, it will be Santin. Next week, Hard the Beers. Next week, in the Val. And I find 50% of the people that are moving with it are the same people. Okay. So the others, it's new people. And after you've been to one, now you've got friends already. Nice. Now you're part of the movement. Now I said, guys, let's go to Cape Town. And I posted on Twitter. Already 11 people have paid. Nice. Cape Town in October. That's so now by October probably it will be like 50 of us or so. Okay. But I'm trying to limit it to 15 or 20 this time because we want to book a villa and stay there. And I've got a Cape Town tour, so I'll give them the experience of taking them to my events, because I've got like 4 events in Cape Town.
Oh, that's so cool. Hi, man.
So it's something different. You see,
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone else doing it.
Wow. And it also builds a community.
As a community.
Yeah.
In the community, you find that maybe you're struggling with something that has to do with law.
Why one?
And then easily it's business. This one eats, we all eat. The other one is what? Like, it's beyond just music.
So in short, that's in school.
Artisan in school.
Yeah,
yeah, artisan in school. Yeah, you might not do what you studied for.
Yeah.
But somehow it might help you. For some people, it helps them meet new people. It might help you know how to handle some situations, or also think differently as compared to other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a sound engineer, you do mixing, you do mastering. For if motho asa either mixing or mastering,
Yeah. Mixing, I would say mixing is, let me give example of cooking, because I was just talking about cooking, and I know most people have cooked before in their lives. So mixing is when you come with a kanama, meat, and then you're gonna put all those spices. You're gonna put salt, you're gonna put water. So mixing, in a way, the studio is the pot. So the ingredients that you put are the separate. We call them separate, which are the vocals, maybe the keyboard, the piano, the bass, what else can I say? The strings, like all those sound elements, the drums.
Sure.
You put them in one pot, but then you have to balance them properly in a way that when the other one plays, complements the other.
Okay, so that the one element is not too loud.
Yeah, next thing the song plays and you can't hear what the singer is saying.
Sure.
What's the point? Which is what normally I hear when people haven't mixed their songs properly. So mixing, I take that, probably spend a week with your song. And sometimes some people put unnecessary elements.
Okay.
I'll tell you, oh my man, this bass line sounds too dry, can't you? And then I'll put some reverbs, give it a room. We call it giving a room, because with music you can actually you imagine people singing. Also, I position the vocals. Some other person will be singing. You can feel that this person sounds like they're on the left ear. The other one is on the right. Some elements are. So that's what I do when I mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then mastering?
Mastering is making it sound right and at the right level. Have you heard, probably maybe you're in a car, you're playing a song.
DreamStream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. DreamStream, a place to create your sound.
The other one is loud, the other one is low. The other one, the bass is too much. The other one, it's like not balanced. So mastering is the process where now I give it the same level as any other professional song that's playing out there, so that if you play this song and then you play your song, they sound like the music, all of them. Someone can be like, man, that song is too soft, having to increase or decrease the volume, having to increase and decrease the volume, but then the song, so an imbalance to create. I would say, the pot story that I'm talking about, the cooking, I would say mastering is fully cooking the food. Now when you're saying after 50 minutes, now the food is ready, it's edible. It's not just mixed ingredients. Now the food is ready, so that's mastering.
Okay. So I hope back in the day, you know, because I did like V360, and oh my goodness, we would listen to the most compressed songs in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
What was wrong with those songs? Like, what were they doing wrong?
Some songs will either distortion. Distortion is like when it sounds like the speaker is torn.
Like it's kicking.
So that's the quality. It's quality control. There's a bit rate in music. There's 64 kbps up to about 320 kbps. That's MP3. And there's wave file. There's 16-bit, 24-bit, 32-bit. So it's the amount of data that the song sends out to the speakers.
Okay, cool.
So it's got to do a lot with mathematics, and it's got to do with compression. So if the size of the song is like 1 megabyte, So it means you're compressing all those kbps into 1 megabyte. It won't sound right because the song wants to breathe. It's the bigger it is, the more space it requires to play. So when you compress it, compress means taking something big and
you're making it
like Albani was komota with us. And you know those people who can eat a whole loaf, they just squeeze this side, squeeze this side. Next thing is like this, and it's a whole loaf. So that's what happens with compression. So chances are it won't sound right.
Okay.
Yeah, and you hear some other songs. I remember some songs were just too loud, even on the V360.
You
know,
like but it's hard, so everybody
and then
hear.
you can hear, and some songs when you play, you can't hear. So the songs that were properly mastered, most of them, they used to be sound right and sound loud on that phone.
Sure.
Yeah.
And what other things does sound engineering entail? Sound
engineering also helps prevent something like the speaker is bent, stuff like that.
Okay.
So when the song is well engineered and balanced, chances are your sound system will be preserved. Yeah. Because some songs, if it's not well mastered, either the bass is too much or the tweeters, we call the highs, are too loud. Then it will bend the diaphragm. So it's a whole language. Man.
Yeah, sure.
Even this speaker and it's got the whole language about it's like a mode. There's a lot of elements going on into it. So, but chances of damaging the sound system of your car or damaging your ear if the song is not well engineered are very high compared to when it's engineered.
One thing about you, when you touch something, it's gold.
Really?
You know? And sound engine, like engineering, how you're mixing, your mastering, like you can hear her name.
Okay.
Like
how
do you go around then branding yourself as that person in the industry who comes highly recommended when it comes to mixing and mastering?
I think it goes. I started actually doing this publicly. COVID.
Okay.
So now I had time in my hands because it takes a lot of time to mix and master. So for me, most people trust me because when they hear my music, they always say, I want my music to sound like yours. You know, I'll be like, oh, really? And I remember, okay, I'm the one who did this in my own space, Kiliwa, no resources. So now it's like, okay, since I've got a bit of resources now, then I can just extend and help the other guys. It's more than anything, more like community services, giving back to be like, okay, gents, I know that you're a good producer, but for your songs don't sound right because your ear is not trained. So with me, the older I become and the more experience I have in the industry of mixing, the more highly recommended I just become. And they look back to my catalog, the stuff that I worked on. I've got a page where I post almost everything that I've worked on. It's full. It's called Engineered by Chyma on Instagram. And almost all the projects that are there, when I look at them, they won awards.
Sure.
And, you know, when they win, I'm just like, wow, nice. Because I'm in the background. No one will know who, because I don't go around also, or we don't even write on some people don't write on their release who engineered it. But then I'll know, oh, damn, that was me.
Yeah.
Big ups, yeah.
From an award winner to another award.
Yeah, you know, it's like just passing the energy. I'm like, oh, big ups, man. It means my job is really taken seriously. Yeah.
There are some artists that you work with where it's obvious how you're going to touch it in terms of the music. Murder's one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he put you on in terms of the Usher one. But generally, when Ali Murder, you know, you guys have a good relationship. But who else do you have a good relationship with when it comes to engineering?
Engineering. The guy now, Jazzin, no more deep house. I do all of his releases also. Also Stay True Sounds. I do all their releases. Before it's released, it must pass through me. And lately, Kid Fonque is putting me with Defected Records. I'm doing that for Defected for some releases. Cool. And I do, who else? Obviously, my boys, those ones, the one before release, it has to come and pass. And lately, Universal. I do a lot of Universal releases, which are the Amapiano guys, Amos, Stoki, Swametrics. And a lot of Fat Cook and Mahuta, Kabzas, they send most of the time. Who else recently? I met a lot of, actually I met almost everyone. Sinom Solo. Yeah, there's a lot. If you go there, you'll just see, I must just go and look, because some of them I work with them and then we become friends. And then some I work with them and then from there It's just show bye, and then they'll come. Oh, also dark, a lot of dark.
Nice.
I can say dark is also like 100% someone that I do for, just
Okay.
like Meda.
Okay.
Just that it doesn't. Does he have a label? Yeah, he has a label. He's got other guys, both Junior SA, like the Afrotech guys.
Sure. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot. If I start mentioning all this time, it's just gonna be gone.
But But whose project have you worked on that you felt like it was quite challenging?
Oh, all of them are challenging, I won't lie. All of them are challenging. Sometimes recently, the challenge will be when the artist and the producer basa utlwana ka project ya bona. Like the artist won this and the producer didn't send me the right files. So those are the kind of challenges I'll get, and then I'll send the master. They're like, "There's an element missing." I'm like, "But I'm not in charge of the project. This is what I got. I work with what I have. So now you have to go and talk to your producer." And then now it's a whole back and forth. But all of them, what I like is that eventually I get the job done. Okay. The producer will be like, "Oh, there's a file I forgot to send," and they'll send.
Okay.
But almost all the projects it's a challenge. That's why not just anyone can do it.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. And do you love the music in terms of anybody who's got the money to pay you can come to you, or do you actually have to like what you're hearing?
It's a stressful process. I won't lie. Actually, I was just talking now. The reason I'm not releasing lots of music now anymore, it's because of that. I'm always working on other people's songs all the time. There's a streamline. I know now. Next week there's the couple coming. He's booked 2 days to come, and I must master his album, but he wants to be present. So now, out of 7 days in a week, 2 days are gone, and the others I must go, and I'm a church boy. I must go and serve my spirit. I must try to go to the gym. That's why now I've got this. I don't get time to go to the gym. I've got a big time now. So I don't have my time anymore to even ride my motorbike. I love riding motorbikes. I don't get time for myself. So
it doesn't
I'm trying
matter.
to limit people that I do for. But lately also I'm trying to groom other few sound engineers.
Nice.
So that when I get a project, I know they're trained by me. They do most of the work, and then I overlook, and then I do the final work.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we mustn't also forget, you're an award-winning producer. Hey? Like, you've done really, really amazing.
I tried, man. I've got for Deep House. Yeah, I think I have lots of awards.
Yeah,
I've a lot of awards since I started.
Which is the song that comes to you first when you're like, it's the first song that actually blew up your house?
Lost in Words, definitely. Yeah. I was still in Pretoria. It was year 2011. I was studying UT Arcadia. That's the song that made me like, you know what, bro? Stop these chemicals and go study something that you really love. You're capable.
So what did it actually physically change in your life? What changed that you could see? I mean, sure, the song is big, thing, but what are the physical changes that are taking place for you?
Well, I started getting bookings. Remember, we were one of the few producers in South Africa who started Candy.
Yeah.
Most producers were popular were really from abroad. Morocco, so they will visit South Africa a lot.
Yeah.
In South Africa, Nasty Nev.
Yeah.
And then who else? Trying to think. Bojera.
Sure.
And then Nilibo Spikiri, Bomdu, Masilela.
Yeah.
But on Morehouse, we were very few.
Absolutely.
So that's that era that we came in. Renalo Black Motion, Woda Capo, Dark, Brazwa Africa. That's when we saw that gap and we jumped on it.
That's very cool.
But now if you look, check the amount of producers that we have.
It's
a lot. So that's why now I can easily step back. I feel like I don't have to be releasing music. Even my next album, literally I'm just putting on the young guys that are really good. I'm like, guys, my next project is collaborations. Let's go for it.
But don't you owe us an album, Mara? Like when we were looking properly, Mara, don't you owe us an album?
I do. This year is Amju.
Okay.
So end of September, my plan is to drop an album.
Nice.
So how many days have I got? Very few. Come on, men's conference. Where am I gonna get the time? Come on, podcast.
Well,
You
with
know?
that you make time.
So there's no time. I realized there's no time. It gives me pleasure.
Yeah.
Obviously, it challenges me mentally, but because no rapela modimo na long fa grace nyana ke maka de fela I'm pushing. I just set the timeline, and most of the things that I do, I feel like they run themselves.
Sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to work with you, but you've worked with incredible people. I mean, even if we talk internationally, Louis Vega, I mean, Monique Bingham, Jazz. I mean, sure. How do you get to a point where you are now rubbing shoulders with such people and even working with them?
I think it goes also to character. I think I'm one easy person to work with. I cannot drama. I was searching for my name online to see if I've got no drama.
Yeah.
I never bothered anyone. There's nothing bad that I've ever done. I'm a very straightforward person. So I think my character more than I always tell another guy, like, I'm not one of the most talented people in South Africa. But
Do you think?
Yeah. But because I know many talented people. But the one thing that really carries me, it's my character, God's grace, and the fact that I'm not gonna let timing. I can jump. You don't find me just anywhere.
What does that mean? How are you on
Like
timing?
Timing. I don't just drop music as and when. Like I just don't throw out music. So people wait. There's supply and demand. Like now I was thinking, man, do I have to release an album? Supply versus demand. Like I release an album every 3 years. So people know when the 3 years is due. They know whatever I'm gonna give them is worth it. So I don't drop 100 songs in a year. Just so whenever you see, okay, Chymamusique is on the project, like definitely has to be good because this guys really value their quality. Whatever I put out there, if it's not good, definitely I won't put it. And unfortunately, as a producer, there's songs that you do and really they don't have to be released.
Why? Because you don't like them?
No, because the concept is not fully done. There are songs that I've started in 2014. I haven't released them. I kept them because the timing, the timing is not right.
Okay.
I put it out now. People really don't care. People just want to be on Twitter and start trolling others. They don't have time to listen to music like that, a body of work. So when you give them a body of work, it must be straightforward and simple, and also don't have too much expectations.
Okay, fair enough.
And now there's social media. They can bash you anytime and tell you that you produced crap,
Yeah.
So you must be, before you put on an album, just know that there's going to be someone, producer nonsense. And because you're human, you got to feel it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that can discourage you. So you must really prepare yourself emotionally, mentally before you drop anything.
Okay. And who's one person that you've worked with, but you cannot even believe the amount of things you learned from them? I'm sure there's a couple, but you can choose maybe one or two.
I've learned on good learning. Now, more than anything, the things that attract me to people, get character, man. Like Lena Meda, character Meda is such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Meda is such a nice guy. Outside of music, the things we talk about and the music comes secondary. Idea or how can we make things happen? And then when I start my concepts, like the one I'm doing at lunch, now I'm saying, bro, I just want to cook for people and give people food for free. He was like, bruh, whenever you want a set from me, give me a shout.
That's so cool.
So like there's more to it. So that's one thing I'm like, oh damn, actually you can just be kind. When you're kind, you attract kindness. No. Then I do that for many other guys. They know, okay, if I reach out to that guy and need something, it's gonna prove through for me.
And that's the one thing that keeps coming up during this conversation: character. Or what kind of a person you are.
Because I feel like there's people who belong to the industry, and there's people who are just coming and passing. Unfortunately, that's the truth. And for you to belong, it doesn't mean you have to have hit songs.
Yep.
It's character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing how to do things, when to do things, and how to treat people, and just how to communicate. There's those ones who will come and be like, they think they can use someone and get away. Yes, you'll use someone, you get away. But then what if you need them again?
Then it's tricky.
Yeah, what if you need them again? When you need help, you go to them. When now maybe to see them now your things are running. Why don't you go back and be like, hey, now let me think of people who really believed in me before everyone else? Like as a person, you must have time to really think and reflect. And that's one thing I've learned. And now people that I know that really struggled with me, chances are I know once in a while I still reach out to them.
That's
Now,
very
yeah, I'm
cool.
like, hey, Mokai, let's do this. Even though it's your birthday, can I get you something? You know? And not because I want anything from them. And even if we talk once a year, but they know whenever I reach out to them, it's really genuine.
Okay, that's really, really wonderful.
Yeah.
And particularly Tawaya Men's Conference. Ne?
Yeah.
I absolutely love it because I mean, Joe, men's conference and nearly something.
Is that there is a no scope?
Ah!
No.
Plus, the one like a busy West.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love it because this was like a fictitious thing, on the 14th of February. But you see, the reality is, I always say, Hore, men need spaces in the way that women have spaces, you know?
Yeah.
In the way that women are being empowered, in the way that there's a safe space created for women. Like boy children and men need the same spaces.
Definitely.
What happened on the first day where you're like, I'm doing this? What was going in your mind? What did you see?
DreamStream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. DreamStream, a place to create yourself.
You mean at the event or what? Or
No,
the thought process?
when you were like, okay, Kair and Toya Men's Conference.
And what I did, I remember I was just sitting, and I'm a farm boy. I love grata ko skhweng nje, like I don't like plekele or tlhakatlhakane.
It's pity.
I love breathing. So I love nature also. I wrote a tweet. I was like, I want a few gents who just wanna go roblomang and then let's have some meat and no one, like just have a good time. The reactions went crazy. And I was like, okay. I spoke to Colin Motla, a friend of mine. I was like, bro, do you have a budget? Can you do this?
What do you mean? Like that's you spoke to yourself, eh?
Yeah, but Colin is the one who must pay for, who must fund Chymamusique.
Oh, Chyma
Yeah, Chyma is like, hey, bro, give me a loan and borrow me some money. Let's hire sound, let's get a place, hire the place, and then let's buy a cow, let's slaughter, and let's be like Deejaying, but then with a purpose. Yeah, GBV.
Yeah.
Or the women are being abused, and I'm the only guy at home, so I'm thinking, oh, my sisters are married, and it's only women. Others are still gonna be married. So abuse. What if it happens? So let me talk to the guys and calm them down before it gets out of hand, because it was getting out of hand. And also I was looking at suicides. The guys are really killing themselves because they've got no hope.
Yeah.
And because I'm also a victim of going through hardships and not knowing who I can talk to. And in the process, I've connected a few dots, like from psychologists to doctors, doing the test to see what's wrong with me, you know. Maybe drinking all those medications, trying to just stabilize your mind because you are overthinking everything. So it's like, I know I'm not alone. That's the reason I did men's camp. I was like, let me call people that I look up to. They must come and talk about their journeys also in front of everyone.
Wow.
And then that's when I thought, oh, why did I start studying radio? I thought, oh, DJ Fresh. And stuff. For some reason, it had happened that the 2 weeks before that, he had actually contacted me. Hey, Muna, Chyma, I want a remix from you. I was like, hey, Muna, I've got an idea. Please come and talk to Deejaying, men's camp, men's. And I was like, I'm canceling everything for that weekend. I'm coming. Wow. And it really came. I spoke to Sbu. I'm like, hey, number one hustler, no, you said we must do a song together. And he called me for his podcast. I did his podcast. I was like, I want you to come and encourage the guys, your journey from all those things. I want being accused of being zeke and the properties and more fires and being on radio, like what was the record label?
Yes, records.
like just come and talk about your journey. It's very interesting. And all the radio stations, it's done a lot.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
So I was like, come and talk to the gens and just tell them the thought process of why you were hugging trees and stuff like that. So they came and they all spoke, and it was quite uplifting, trust me. And I called psychologists, they explained psychology, how it works to the gens. From there, they're like, yo, this was beautiful. Now it's time to go home. The guys don't want to leave. They were supposed to leave at 9 in the morning. They left, I think, 4 p.m. They were still sitting there like, gents, it felt like it's been only a few hours, and now they're friends. They're like, okay, bruh, you need to do another one. I was like, gents, I'll try, but I definitely can't do it every month.
Okay.
I was like, I can do it every quarter.
Okay.
So now we're going to do the second one. I was like, and Futi, let's move. Let's travel, gents. Let's go to another province. Even if it's the 50 of us.
Sure.
And then I said Middleburg. Then I think now we are almost 140 people.
Wow.
We're traveling from all over the country, even outside the country. They're coming. We're going to go. Now I'm organizing speakers. I spoke to a few guys that I know that if they talk, they'll be listened. I spoke to guys in mining. You see now, that's why now I'm doing stuff as if I'm doing for myself, but I'm inviting other people.
Okay, cool.
Because I want to be in mining now.
Okay.
And I want to do farming. So I invited someone who knows about farming, someone who knows mining, about this thing at the prostate cancer and surgeries about cancer. And I spoke to Oskido because I saw he was basically with Airbnb. And Oskido has done a lot.
Yeah, property development.
Yeah, property
now.
development.
Yeah.
So I wanted to come and talk about that. And then I reached out to many people. Even Black Coffee, I reached out to him. I can't give an answer now or what's happening. I spoke to Casper. Like, yeah, it's for the men. The men will see. What I'm saying here, I'm not sure how it's gonna end. But even if it's maybe not for the next one, or it might be for the next one, but it's the gentlemen are watching and they're like, let's see how we can. So one of them might just come and pop in and surprise. Boo. Yeah.
But that's so beautiful, hey. I mean, it's one thing to want something and have an idea, ne? But it's another thing to be like, you know what, ne? I'll take responsibility and I will do it.
Yeah. I spoke to Zola 7. He's been through a lot. So among all these people that I'm talking about is people that I've reached out to already about the Mpumalanga one.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of checking calendar schedules and knowing what they want. And then I'll speak to Colin and say, Colin, Copa loan. Let me get like such a yeah, and then that's what I'm doing.
Nah, that's wonderful. That is so beautiful. Keep shining, B. Like I think you're doing. Yeah.
I'm not shining now.
Well, now I everything, Jay.
It's stressing. I think I was just thinking to myself, actually, I thrive on stress. Pressure. When some people are not doing something, I feel like I can do it alone. Which is I've hosted events alone. I've been running around doing all that. So even the camp, the first one, I did that alone. Yeah. But fortunately, men are easy to work with. Okay. The time they get there, they're like, hey, bruh, stop running around alone. I've got a bakkie. I've got. Okay. I can go and collect the cow. I've got a guy who knows how to slaughter. They can slaughter. Okay. That's how much they need. We'll pay and then we'll bring invoices thereafter, and then it's a collective. Now it's a family thing. Even now, I don't have to stress a lot. I went to a venue, viewed it. The guy of the venue was like, wow, nice concept. Actually, I think my son needs that too. Wow. So when he charged the price, I was like, can you have mercy? Most of the people who are coming here already, we didn't even charge them a lot of money because normally camps are expensive. Yeah. Mine was like 1.5. Okay. For 3 days. Yeah. And they're eating for free. Yeah, that's nice. That's mine is cheap. So I'm doing it because I know some people that I'm dealing with, they don't have that money to go and pay for 5,000 rand camp and go to other country and go camp. Sure. Because I see that's the prices for other camps, 5,000, 6,000. Yeah, 3 point something. I'll keep mine cheaper. And it will pay back on its own because now I meet other business people while we're at the camp, and then later on they'll teach me how to mine, they'll teach me how to farm. That's where I'll make my money. Okay. Later on, if God allows that to happen. God willing. God willing. From your lips to God's ears. Hallelujah. And before we get into the advice for music, there is many young men who listen and watch this podcast, you know.
And I think, as a guy, you're someone who knows better. And obviously through experience, horo it's again, like there's a lot that as men you guys go through. What kind of motivation or just words of encouragement would you watch or tell to a young man right now?
I normally say what would I say to the young me? I realize that as I grow that you need to unlearn certain things. Like just because other people are doing it, you don't have to do it. You have to understand that you were born alone.
Yeah.
Your mission in this world, it's yours alone. Every person has got their own life. So you're not cool. Probably if I would be the drugs, you're not cool. Unfortunately, with the industry, people smoke all sorts of things. That's what the industries are known for. And drink, always drunk. So I would say, do you always remember your where you come from, like how you were raised. Normally, that's how you're supposed to live compared to. So now that's not that's not how you were raised. Chances are it's gonna work against you. So really know yourself and know your values, and don't believe everything on social media, guys. You see, people post all sorts of things on social media to either spite someone or for themselves to get praises. Get things done. Don't just post.
Yeah.
When you say men's conference, get it done.
Sure.
Yeah, be an action guy. And also be an honest person. I think honesty and loyalty helps you to go far. And also just be humble, man. Life will humble you anyway.
Yeah, that's very true. And musically, there are people who actually want to get into the space of music. They want to be a DJ, producer, and perhaps maybe even just get into the sound engineering space, What would you tell people like that, in terms of what skills they should have and how they should also equip themselves if they want to succeed?
Well, DJing. Everyone is a DJ now, so it's not quite easy. So do it, but then in your own style. That's why I don't blame those ladies who DJ now and dance. It's because they realize that everyone else can play and mix songs. Some of them don't even learn how to mix anymore.
It's
They
true.
mix tape and dance. And do it for fun. So I think do something different, but also really try to understand the basics of music, where music comes from, how to count beats, like know the basics. If possible, learn how to make your own music. Small, even if it's after 20 years. If you learn how to read music or how to make music or do something, it gives you more advantage. You'll always be remembered because you know more. Knowledge is power.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if someone wants to have an ear like yours, because anyway, that's how you're strong, what's the best way to train an ear? Especially where sound engineering is concerned.
I'll say listen to almost all kinds of music. And learning about dynamics of also music, also just history of music also helps. Also invest in nice sound system, from your house to your car to the headsets that you put. Really listen to good quality sound. Then you'll know. Even the studio, invest in proper equipment. It doesn't have to be expensive.
Sure.
But just do research about all those brands and understand what they're about. But more than anything, I feel like the ear is something that you're born with. Because I could do most of the things that I'm doing now, even before I went to try and study the theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And before we wrap it up, because karatadilo, right?
For what?
For sound engineering, mixing, mastering.
It's not expensive, man. Roughly, you will spend the most that someone would pay for a song. I would say average of about 2.5 for one song.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is even not about how much time you spend. It's just
just a song, because we charge according to a stem. So mastering is roughly between around $500 to nothing over 1,000 rand to master a song for digital purposes. And mixing normally is around $50 to $100 per separate stem. So it's also not big. Depends on how big the project is. The bigger the project, the longer it's gonna take. You send a project with probably 20 stems and just needs mixing and mastering, you can end up paying like 1,000 rand.
Yeah. Okay, that's actually not shabby.
Oh, no, not at all. If you really want to release a proper project and you also have someone that can give you feedback, or try to get someone who really knows what they're doing, a sound engineer. Then they'll help you. They'll be like your second ear.
Boy, na so.
Yeah, just that obviously you can't do all of them. But like I'm saying, I'm trying to have other guys working also because it puts bread on the table. So if I get someone, I show them, I just enhance what they do. If they engineer 50 songs a month, they've got 50,000 rand. So.
And what if someone is watching or listening to this and they actually want to be guided by you?
Yeah. They must just come to these events that I'm doing for lunch and networking. That's why I meet other guys and we just talk. Because there I'm chilled.
Yeah.
And most of my other friends who are in the music industry, they come and just, hang around and listen to other DJs playing. Because I also give platform through those events. Because most of the time, the people who are playing is just people that are not known. Maybe I'll have 2 or 3 of my other friends.
Okay.
But Dodlalanga peak hour, which is my peak hour is 5, 6, 7, 8 peak hour.
Because then I've covered 9, everybody goes home, right?
Really? They don't go home this week. They want to have the after party of the after party. So they still stay. And like Maloba, I had another one who meet and they left at 1.
Yeah.
That's when they were leaving.
Oh, you left at 9?
I left, I think, around 11. I said the party ended at 11.
Okay.
At 11, I had to go somewhere. When I came back to go and just do some other things, I found people are still there. They were like, them and you guys. I said 11.
That's cool, but
so it's like I get cook over kind of.
But really
I understood why they don't, because some were drinking. They said, no, we still hang around, waiting for the drivers to come pick us up. So we are chilling and I met this guy saying something interesting. So I don't want to leave this party, go to second location for another one.
Yeah, rather chill.
So just chill here.
Nice.
So the one I'm doing in Hartbeespoort Sport in September, the 24th, Friday. Because I said I'm buying for everyone. And people now already they're saying, no, we're booking accommodation in Hartbeespoort too. So now you see that opens up to other businesses also eat by us going and staying in Hartbeespoort for that day.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I love the work that you do. It's very inspirational.
Much.
And it's just cool, man. Like it's
humbling cool. Also, because behind that there's stress. Dealing with people, it's stressful.
Nah.
Yeah.
But you do it so well.
Yeah,
Cool, coming collected.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for making time to come through here and share the knowledge that you have, and I'm wishing you all the best. And I really mean it. Keep shining.
God's time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
The one and only Chymamusique. You heard everything you needed to hear, and you know exactly what you need to do if you'd like to get that free lunch, or maybe when you go attend that men's conference. So just do the right thing. And a big shout out to you as well. If you'd like to book this studio for yourself, maybe you also want to record some music, all you got to do is send that important email. It is info@dreamstream.co.za. Nakalina ke nnabusi, Baba Kulu, Baba Des, Bareki the Queen of Pitori, and we are out here.